Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a very special Shadow Pokemon, Shadow Gyarados, in the Color Cup. Now, it's not the premier Dragon Breath user of choice. A lot of people are opting for Kingdra, but I actually opt to say that Shadow Gyarados has its own niche in the Color Cup, and I'm here to show you guys it today. What is Shadow Gyarados good at doing? Well, if given a shield advantage, it goes absolutely wild, and I truly cannot wait for you guys to see it. If you find enjoyment in today's video, please feel free to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But without keeping it too much longer, let's get into the games. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, leading Cradily into Cradily. Now, Cradily is a pretty interesting Pokemon. It can come to shine in these limited metas where grass types are featured oftentimes, but realistically it doesn't have any open Great League meta relevance, and I do have a pretty good Shadow, but I wouldn't really run it. Its bulk is kind of the only thing keeping it together, and it's not particularly like mega bulky or anything. It's average, I would say. And as you're going to see here, 2 Grass Knots is not going to be enough to KO either Cradily in this situation, so we are going to fire off a Grass Knot of our own. And this is number 2. They are going to shield it up, and now I have to switch out into my Dugong. I don't want to concede a farm down there. I am very low, and most likely in farm down range as the bullet seeds are neutral. And although it's not a very high damage fast move, it still does enough where we could get farm down there. They are going to pivot out into their Gastrodon, and Gastrodon has found the best place for it to be on our team. But that doesn't really say a whole lot, because up this massive amount of energy here, we are absolutely fine into this Gastrodon. Gastrodon is going to fire off what's likely going to be an Earth Power. Yeah, nobody ever baits Dugong. Baiting Dugong is a very dangerous game for very dangerous people. We are going to fire off Icy Wind number 2, and now their damage output has dropped from 0 to -0, but on less than 1 HP, the Gastrodon able to make a last-second body slam. And I'm not going to commit a shield here, because on 1 HP, once again, the Cradily back-to-back. Oh my goodness, this guy. IV check on these Pokemon, holy, back-to-back 1 HP survives of my Dragon Breaths, and that's going to mean that we have to give up the last shield, but that is a-okay, because the last Pokemon they have in the back is going to be a Shadow, a Alolan Marowak, one of the top meta threats in this cup. One more Dragon Breath and a Crunch will seal the deal for this game. Crunch is going to be reached, that KOs the Alolan Marowak nearly from full. GG's to this trainer. Let's see what fresh hell awaits us in game number 2, Cradily into Talonflame. This is honestly pretty good for us. One of the positives I found about this team was that Talonflame really not the terrifying meta threat that it can be for some teams into this team. They are going to fire off the Brave Bird. That does a massive amount of damage, looking to make a catch. Oh my goodness, this man absolutely ruined my day. Waited 3 turns and caught onto the Quagsire. Feels terrible, man. We're going to fire off another Rock Slide here. They shielded up, mistakenly thinking that it could have been a Grass Knot, but I do not even believe I built up there. I just want to get some energy off. We are going to bring in the Gyarados here, but this could very easily be a Stone Edge, and we do not want to get Edge today. We are going to continue the farm, and before they're able to make another Stone Edge, fire off an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail here is threatening to the Quagsire, so we get a response from them. Regardless, they are not going to drop another shield here. They are going to bring in more Pekko, and look at the Thunder Shock damage. Oh my goodness, I've seen Volt Switches do less than that Thunder Shock is doing to me right now. Oh my, the Psychic Fangs is going to be reached. The game does not know what to do with itself while the animation for Aura Wheel is changing. Aqua Tail going to grab a shield from the Morpeko. I'm looking to make a last-second Aqua Tail, and at the very last possible second, we're able to make it. And this should very well spell the end for this Morpeko's run here. That is very fortunate for us. We have to hard pivot into our Dugong here. Dugong is going to have to be the answer. Fortunately, they throw their energy right away on 3 Incinerate, which means I get a full sneak there because of the timing that I switched out. Now they are going to fire off the Flame Charge. I'm firing off 3 more Ice Shards and an Icy Wind for optimal fast move timing. And now we are in a pretty decent spot. They do have to throw here in order to KO the Dugong. But if they do that, they are just going to get Dragon Breath down. Flame Charge onto the Dewgong will connect and get the KO, but that's okay because we have enough Gyarados to go around where we can just bring him back in, Dragon Breath this all the way down, and down goes the Talonflame. GG's. In the next game, it's going to be quite the core breaker on the lead. Credilli leading into Abomasnow. What I'm going to do here, fire off 3 Bullet Seeds and then switch out into the Dewgong, and now the perfect catch awaits. Dewgong able to sneak the Ice Shard and catch the Weather Ball, dealing next to no damage to the Dewgong. Now this Greninja that comes in is going to be able to outpace us here, but this is okay. It's only going to be at max a Night Slash. They're probably not going to throw the Hydro there, but perfectly fine with whatever outcome comes from that. We're going to fire off an Icy Wind just to try to slow down this Greninja just a little bit. Its pacing is rapid fast, and we know they're going to try to CMP us there, so just going to go for the extra Ice Shard there, switching back out into the Credilli, and now we're able to make another catch. When you're in a position like I was in at the start of this game, you kind of need to make things happen for yourself. Now I know that the Greninja is about to make a move, so I have to fire off a Rock Slide here, because they are most certainly in Rock Slide range. Now I have to make them make a decision. Do they want to give up all that energy on that Greninja? The answer is yes, bringing back in the Abomasnow here. Abomasnow, of course, going to have to shield up a Rock Slide. Oh my goodness, do they get this farm down? They do. Oh, that is trouble. That is problematic, to say the absolute least. Bringing back in the Dewgong, looking to fire off an Icy Wind here. Generally, Drill Run is the better move to go for in neutral situations, but definitely not in this neutral situation. We're looking to build up to the Drill Run, and now, moment of truth. Are they going to send it? An Aqua Tail would not KO. Oh my goodness. Well, they were short of the Sludge Wave anyway, so the other option there was a Scold, may have KO'd there. But oh my goodness, are we happy to see that that didn't KO. We get to preserve the Dewgong on 1 HP, and Ice Beam, or excuse me, an Aqua Tail is going to land onto the Gyarados. Gyarados shrugging that damage off, absolutely no problem. And next it's going to be Aqua Tail. Again, relentless Aqua Tail after Aqua Tail. They're going to fire off a Weather Ball at the Gyarados here. I can't really afford to let this Abomasnow make another move onto the Gyarados, so I have to crunch right away here and pray that we're going to be able to farm down this Quillfish in time. It's not looking like it, but we get the perfect catch onto the Dewgong. Oh my goodness, this poor Quillfish has Aqua Tail the Dewgong in absolute shambles twice in a row in one game. GG's to this trainer. Alright, another Talonflame lead for our Credilli. Now this is actually a little bit awkward, as we've seen. If they go straight Brave Bird here, our Credilli really does not appreciate that, but the entire idea of running Shadow Gyarados in this cup is not to run it as a save switch, but to save shields for it. If you save shields for your Shadow Gyarados, you're in a good spot. But if your Shadow Gyarados ends up in a position where you're down shields, you are absolutely cooked. We are going to be able to bring in the Dewgong here. They're likely going to fire off a Energy Ball here, but that's perfectly fine. The Energy Ball does about half, but they're not going to be able to make another one here, so we're going to commit to the farm down. This is only going to be an Aerial Ace, not at all afraid of this move. They're going to fire off the Aerial Ace. Dewgong shrugs it off, no problem. Full Ice Shard down, and now what does this trainer want to do? If they bring back in the Talonflame, I can throw 1 Ice Shard and an Icy Wind, and I should be able to throw 1 more Ice Shard and an Icy Wind once again after this. This is problematic for this trainer because they unfortunately have the task of, do I shield my Talonflame here? I know that doesn't KO, bringing back in the Credilli, and now they have to really think about if my reactions are good enough. I threw the Grass Knot and they shielded it at the last possible second, but now Gyarados with a 2-to-1 shield advantage is about to go absolutely nutty. They're going to fire off a move here, but I know this is one of the moves that will do the least amount of damage remaining on the field, so I am going to build up to the next move, fire off an Aqua Tail, and force a decision from this Gastrodon. They are going to put up a shield on the Gastrodon. That's good information to know. They have now 0 shields remaining in this game, and now all we have to do is leverage our Gyarados energy to the best of our ability. They bring in the Talonflame, but I saw that switch coming, switched out into my Dewgong, caught the fly, farmed down the Talonflame. Back in comes the Gastrodon. I could have easily farmed them down there, but we're going to go for the Aqua Tail just to solidify this game. GG's to this trainer. In the next game, it's going to be Credilli into a Mega Core Breaker. Charge Bug is not what we want to see when we wake up in the morning running this team. Unfortunately, we do have to stay in with our Credilli here, looking to farm up. And now they're going to fire off their energy immediately, giving me an entire bullet seed for free. That's very nice for us. We're going to fire off another Rock Slide here. Well, I suppose Rock Slide number 1. Rock Slide number 1 is going to connect onto the Charger Bug. Charger Bug is going to no shield that, and now probably look to leverage a shield advantage for themselves and their back line. That's a little bit unfortunate for us, but they caught our Credilli on the lead. Not the best situation for us to be a part of. Credilli, a Rock Slide number 2, going to take out the Charge Bug. Fortunately, they did not want to shield it because it had super effective damage and fast move pressure into the rest of our team. We're going to fire off a Grass Knot at the incoming Kingdra. And speaking of Kingdra, in the, spoiler alert, new Rocket Takeover event, there is going to be Shadow Horsies finally coming back after God knows how long. And once we get more confirmed stats and you know, 100% confirmation of what's in the Rockets, I will do another video, a new style of video that I'd like to make on the channel with regards to that Shadow rotation. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to hit the like button. But anyway, we are able to make a second Icy win, which is absolutely massive. And now, we're not in the worst spot ever. We can bring in our Gyarados here, and Gyarados does basically have 2 shields. We bring in the Credilli. Unfortunately, the shield attempt with the Credilli didn't go as planned. They are going to fire off energy at the Credilli because they kind of have to. They're going to Aqua Tail the Credilli, and now I'm going to Aqua Tail them right back. But now we've kind of put ourselves in a pretty difficult position. This match now all comes down to if they're baiting me here or if they are sending the Stone Edge. It's a true 50-50 call. They Stone Edge me. Down goes Gyarados. GG's to this trainer. Getting into that next game, another Talonflame lead. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm showing my elo here, realistically. But yeah, Talonflame lead was everywhere. They're going to fire off a move exactly on 5, and now if it's a Brave Bird, once again we are in shambles, but this one opts to go for the fly. That's actually pretty nice for us because we're able to make the back-to-back Rock Slides, and although Rock Slide shouldn't one-shot here, yeah, they do still have to make a shielding decision, because if they no shield, we are in a truly dominant spot. They don't even want to take the Rock Slide damage, but realistically, I don't think even with those Bullet Seeds, we have enough chip. They were looking to get greedy for the Incinerate farm down. A 3rd Rock Slide is reached, and now with all that Bullet Seed chip, although double resisted, we have enough damage to take out the Talonflame. And now we're going to bring in our Dugong as they have a Toxapex on the screen. They're looking to catch our Drill Run onto their Gastrodon, and Gastrodon is going to get absolutely cooked by a 2-0 shield advantage Gyarados. And I don't know if at this point I've mentioned this in the video, but Gyarados does one thing very well in this cup. With a 2-0 shield advantage, it loses to absolutely nothing. Now again, that is a statistic that means that at full health, while Gyarados is at full health and it has a 2 shield advantage into one of any of the meta Pokemon in this cup, it will absolutely win. We no shield a second Slam. Oh my goodness, going for an Aqua Tail here just to get this damage off. Realistically, it doesn't matter. We've got a 2 shield Dugong with a massive health lead over this Toxapex after landing this Drill Run. Realistically, this is a top leftable offense, and the opponent agrees. GG's. I got a little carried away in that last game, so let me continue speaking about what I was speaking about before. But first, it's going to be Credilli leading into Shadow Jumpluff. This is an okay enough matchup. We are going to be able to fire off a super effective Rock Slide here, but not before they're able to fire off an Energy Ball at us. Nevertheless, what I was saying about Gyarados in the last match was that Gyarados does have a truly terrifying statistic where when it's up a shield, I believe it only loses to 3 of the top 26 Pokemon in the meta, and when it's up 2 shields, it loses to 0 of any of the meta Pokemon in this cup. So that is an absolutely terrifying feat. They're going to fire off a Sludge Wave at our Dugong. Dugong able to make another Drill Run here. And now we can start pressuring this Toxapex. Toxapex has the decision to make here, looking to put up a shield. And now you have given Gyarados this shield advantage it so desperately wants in this cup. You can fire off a Brine. You can fire off a Sludge Wave. I don't care at this point. It's going to be the Brine. Does take out the Dugong there. We're looking to bring back in the Credilli, who has a massive energy head start here. I didn't even know I had all this energy banked on my Credilli. We get the farm down. Excuse me, we get the knockout onto the Toxapex there. And now we're going to be able to land this Rock Slide onto the Jumpluff. Jumpluff is going to have to fire off a move here in order to KO us here. This is likely going to be an Aerial Ace that would likely KO, and indeed it does. So now in comes the Gyarados. Gyarados is going to have to put in a massive amount of work here. Let's see what the Jumpluff wants to do here. And regardless of what they throw, I think I have to commit a shield. It's going to be a Quillfish in the back, and now we have to make a very, very careful management of this end game. Aqua Tail onto the Quillfish is going to get shielded. We built up to the crunch, and now they are actually in Aqua Tail range. They're going to fire off a move here. Are they going to Aqua Tail me? Yes, they Aqua Tail me, and it does not do enough damage. This is absolutely massive, because if we got a shield strip from us there and we got it wrong, we probably just lose this game. In comes the Jumpluff. Are we going to be able to make the Aqua Tail? We Dragon Breath down first. GG's to this trainer. As you can see, just saving shields for your Gyarados strat is absolutely a valid one in this particular meta. They're going to bleed. The next and final game of the video is going to be a Shadow Alolan Marowak into our Credilli. The Credilli has play here. We have the Rock Slide. They are going to shield it up because Shadow Alolan Marowak's a little bit on the glassy side. Not particularly super glassy or anything like that, like a Morpeko or something, but it's pretty damn glassy. They're going to fire off a Bone Club bait. I can live both Bone Clubs here, so I am going to no shield because we already know if our Gyarados has a shield advantage here, we are in a massively good spot. So they can Fire Spin me down all they want. They're going to no shield, and now we're going to aggressively pivot into our Dugong. Unfortunately, Dugong not going to be doing the most damage here with the fast moves, but this is okay. I can opt to shield this, I can opt to not. I am going to shield it because they did build up to the Shadow Bone, and now they are looking to switch out into their Credilli. But Credilli here is so far behind on energy that realistically we don't really... I don't even think we're going to have to shield it to Shadow Credilli as well. Oh my goodness, we outpace to the double Icy Wind before they're able to make a move versus the Dugong. Make sure to get rid of that Credilli off the screen before they're able to throw a move there. It's going to be a Superior in the back, and we have to make a catch onto our Cradily. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely massive. Cradily catching the Frenzy Plant that was meant for the Dugong. We're looking to land another Icy Wind onto the Superior, and this should very well just solidify this game. Superior does have the option of switching out into the Marowak here, but that's okay with us because we have a shield advantage for our Gyarados once again, and the Superior is quite low after taking an Aerial Ace, or excuse me, after taking an Icy Wind, and now it's going to be Shadow Gyarados time. Shadow Gyarados looking for that farm down. It's all up to this. Are we going to shield? Are we not? Do they have the Shadow Bone? We're no shielding it. It's a Bone Club. Get your bait. Absolutely called Bozo. And it's going to be the Superior in the back, tasked with taking a crunch, but they are just too low. GG's to this trainer. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And let me just get right to the chase here. Shadow Gyarados, honestly, I didn't believe in it at all. And this is now the second limited meta in a row where it has had a tremendous amount of play, and I just gotta tell you guys, if ever there were a Pokemon I recommend grinding for limited metas, it would be one, Shadow Kingdra that's coming back to the female water type grunts starting, I suppose, the day that this video drops, and Gyarados, Shadow Gyarados from the male water type grunt. These Pokemon are absolute menaces whenever there are water types allowed in limited metas for the most part, so absolutely recommend trying to get your hands on one of these if you don't already have one. With all that being said though, I've been Shmeaty. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope to see all you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.